Good evening. This week and the coming week of evening devotions will take a bit of a different form, where we are celebrating the 10 years of the existence of this congregation, and therefore we're looking back at the last 10 years and thinking about what the Lord did in this time, and also with expectation looking forward to the year and the years that lie ahead. The first point where we want to make a stop is at the G5 ministry. The G5 ministry originated with the origin of the congregation. It started with the congregation, the Bult congregation, being established with the focus on the Bult and the student community that lives here and continues to increase in our immediate vicinity around the church buildings. And therefore G5 was the vehicle through which we aim to reach the Bult and the student population. G5 was the ministry through which we said this is the way in which we are intentionally present on the Bult, and where we try to create an alternative community for students and other people to be present and belong to the community on the Bult. And when we started doing that, the more we went to the Bult and placed our bodies there and started living there, the more the Lord sent students to the congregation. I remember how we started with our evening services saying that we want to address the students as the first hearers in our evening worship services. And initially there were basically no students, and eventually it started growing and they started coming and we could receive them as part of the congregation, to the extent that we had to expand G5 to also, let's call it the in-house student ministry, where we started ministering to our own students and their friends. That's where all of the camps started. I fondly remember the on-the-spot camp, where we asked the question, how do we answer our friends when they place us on the spot regarding religious questions or moral issues. That also led to the kick-off camp at the beginning of the year, where we started the year each year. And in that we also continually said that we need to maintain our focus on the Bult. We don't want to just focus on ourselves again and our own student within the congregations, as you sense from a theme like on-the-spot camp, answering our friends and other people. And therefore the ministry through things like Hartklop, where we experience that, like Jesus said, giving truly is better. Giving gives you more joy than receiving can ever do. We started initially with Hartklop. That was a ministry that already existed during Hartklop, where free coffee and water was handed out, and we had a tent there where we gave a bit of a safe space, especially during the evenings. All the residents of Potchefstroom will remember that those early years of Hartklop, the evenings could have been a bit tough with the beer gardens and stuff on the Bult. And then initially we got the privilege to host Hartklop during Hartklop, and that led to a similar ministry during RAG, when we could have a pit stop there and hand out coffee to the students while they're at RAG. The engineering students at some stage approached us and asked whether they can build a coffee cart for us so that we can do it easier, and we received that, and that made it a lot easier. Eventually it was expanded further to giving events at the open day of the university, and the first day when the first years were welcomed, where we handed out coffee in backpacks early in the mornings, and during the rest of the day were present as roadmaps, actually, just to point people on campus and say, this is the place you're looking for, can I help you? Welcome here. Yeah, so looking to the future, I think COVID was tough on this ministry with the introduction of online learning. A lot of students weren't present in Potchefstroom, but I'm thankful that our student Bible study started again on Tuesday evenings and is going well. We are hoping to start with our evening worship services again from the 7th of November, the weekend after the festival. And also on that weekend, 5 to 7 November, we're planning to have our first camp again for students. The first one from January 2020. So it's small beginnings, but I'm thinking back of 10 years ago when we also made a small beginning, and the Lord blessed that, and so therefore we have a lot of expectation for what lies ahead in the next 10 years. Good day.